Hello Russian learners, Oksana here, welcome to my channel. Today, as usual, we are going on with our Russian studies, and this time in this video we'll try to broaden your vocabulary a little bit by learning two of the very commonly used Russian adjectives, which actually have the opposite meaning, which I think it's very useful because you're not only learning an adjective, which is very popular, very commonly used in the Russian everyday speech, but you're also learning the another adjective which has the opposite meaning. So I think this way it's easier to learn words, and will also like you are just doing 2 points at one time. So this time, if you haven't watched my previous videos, I already made a video like that. I talked about another two opposite meaning adjectives, which were good and bad, хороший and плохой. So if you haven't watched that video, please do that. I'll link to that in the description under the video. And today the adjectives of this video are the ones you can see on your screen, which are these two, which is большой and маленький. So these two have the opposite meaning, and let us write this meaning down first. So большой means big, and маленький means little or small. So either that or that. So, and these two adjectives can be used with whatever nouns of whatever meaning that you can come up with. It can be used with objects when describing, of course, objects, or when describing animals, people, like everything that can be described as either big or small or little, either большой or маленький. So, and as we know, adjectives in the Russian language, like the adjectives that you see in the Russian dictionaries, are like only one of many forms of them. So in the dictionary, you're actually seeing the adjectives of masculine gender. It is like the default form of Russian adjectives, and just like nouns, Russian adjectives can be changed according to gender. So adjectives can be either masculine gender, feminine gender, and neuter gender as well. And just like nouns, which can have singular and plural forms, Russian adjectives can also have their plural forms. So now, before we continue with reading some examples of using these adjectives in a phrase, let us write all of the possible variations of these adjectives. So I'm talking about, so that will be masculine gender, feminine gender, neuter gender, and plural form. So that will be easier for you to see right away the way they are changed into these different forms, so that further on you will not be making any mistakes when doing that yourself. So if we are talking about the masculine gender, we already have it here, but let us write them down again. So we have большой and маленький. So that is the masculine gender, and it of course can be used with the nouns of a masculine gender, so of corresponding gender. So that is the way. Next we have feminine gender, and feminine gender has to be the adjective of feminine gender has to have the corresponding adjective. So in each of these gender forms and plural as well, the ending of the adjective will be changed, and in the feminine gender it will be большая, большая, and маленькая. So that is the feminine gender example of the these two adjectives. Next we have neuter gender, which can be used with nouns of the neuter gender. So большой will be большое, большое, and маленький will turn into маленький. маленькое. Большое, маленькое. And now let's talk about plural forms. Plural form stays the same. I mean that the plural form doesn't depend on the gender, of course, it's just plural. So the plural form of the adjective большой will be большие, большие. And the plural form of the adjective маленький will be маленькие. Большие, маленькие, большие, маленькие. So the plural form of adjectives is used with the plural forms of nouns, no matter the gender of those nouns already. So that is this. So большой, большая, большое, большие, meaning big, and маленький, маленькая, маленькое, and маленькие, meaning a little or small. And now let us write down some examples of using these adjectives with nouns, so that it will be easier for you to remember and to make your own phrases afterwards. Let us start with the big большой adjective, and let's give the example for each of these forms. So if we're talking about masculine gender, let's say that a big can be house, for example. Большой дом. Большой дом, meaning big house, of course. Big house. And if we're talking about like some popular examples that can make it easier for you to remember this adjective, you can think of a very popular book by the author Roald Dahl, and he has this book which is called in English The Big and Friendly Giant, which is the BFG, but in Russian it will be большой и добрый великан. Большой и добрый великан. The book Big Friendly Giant by Roald Dahl is translated into Russian like this. So you can see that the adjective большой is used here, and it's actually used in many other phrases in a Russian speech. Next, let's say for the feminine gender, which is большая. So there was one. Большая. Большая. So what can be большая? Let us say большая картина. Картина. Большая картина means big picture. So большая картина. So we see картина, picture, is a noun of a feminine gender, and we're using the adjective большая of a feminine gender as well. And if we are talking about some popular examples of this a word in this form of a feminine gender used in some popular names, for example, book names, we can think about the book by Liane Moriarty, and which is the Big Little Lie. We can see here both большая and маленькая. So it is большая, маленькая, ложь. So that is how the name of this book is translated into Russian, and we can see the here used both versions, both adjectives that we are learning today, большой and маленький in its feminine gender form, большая, маленькая, ложь. Ложь here means lie. It is a noun of a feminine gender. That's why all of the adjectives used with it is of a feminine gender as well. So I think that is really cool that we have this example combining both of the adjectives we are learning today. Now let's say for the neuter gender, большое, большое. So what can be большое? Let us say, for example, озеро. Озеро. Большое озеро, meaning big lake. Big lake. And other words of the neuter gender can be used with the adjective большое. I actually can't come up with an example, with a popular example of this adjective phrase with this adjective, like name of something. So if you can, please write them down in the commentary section. What popular names or translations of books or movies you can come up with that includes the adjective большой in the neuter form, which is большое. And let us talk about the plural form, which is большие, большие. So большие, big, I think can be eyes, which are глаза, big eyes. So глаза, I mean eyes, the singular form of eyes, which is eye, is глаз, and the plural form is глаза. So глаза, no matter which gender is the singular form, it is in the plural form. So we're using the adjective of in the plural form as well, which is большие, and we get big eyes. And here I can come up with a popular phrase, which is the translation of a book by Charles Dickens, which is Great Expectations, and in Russian it is translated as большие надежды. So if we're translating it word by word into Russian again, надежда means hopes, so it will be big hopes, but the actual name of the book is, of course, The Great Expectations, but Russian interpreters found this, I think, also very cool phrase, which shows the meaning of the book very well. Большие надежды. So that was the examples. There were the examples with all of the forms of the adjective большой. And now let us make some examples with the adjective маленький, which is little. And first, let's start with the masculine gender form, and typically маленький is used when also talking about kids. So you can say that маленький can be a kid, and in Russian is ребенок. Ребенок. Маленький ребенок. Маленький ребенок, it can mean little child. Little child, little kid, something like that. Маленький ребенок. And if we're talking about popular phrases which used in the names of the books or movies, we can come up with this very, very popular and famous book, which is The Little Prince, and it is translated into Russian like this, which is Маленький принц. Маленький принц. Little Prince. It is a book by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry. So that is this book, The Little Prince. The Little Prince. Маленький принц. And also let us write now the example of the adjective in the feminine gender. Маленькая. Маленькая. So what can be маленькая? Let's say a girl, a little girl. Маленькая девочка. Маленькая девочка means little girl. So девочка is a noun of a feminine gender, and the adjective маленькая is of a feminine gender as well. And if we're talking about the examples of it, of usage, I already told you about the Big Little Lie, which is большая маленькая ложь. But you can also, I also came up with the name of this book, which is маленькая принцесса. Princess. So we have like this pattern, which is we had the little prince, and now we have the little princess. And the little princess, маленькая принцесса, is the name of the book by Frances Burnett, and it is in English The Little Princess, and in Russian this translated word for word, and it is маленькая принцесса. Маленькая принцесса. Next, let us write down some example with the adjective маленький in its neuter gender form, which is маленькое. And here I can come up with the word платье, little dress, and here I can give you not like an example, but a variation of this phrase which is маленькое черное платье. And it is translated as the little black dress, which you know, the famous little black dress populated by Coco Chanel. So that is how this expression is translated into Russian. Little black dress is маленькое черное платье. So here маленькое is the neuter gender form of the adjective маленький. And the last example will be with the plural form of this adjective маленький, which is маленькие. So what can be маленькие? Let us say серьги. Маленькие серьги. Серьги means little earrings. Earrings. So маленькие серьги, or anything that is of a plural form, can be used with this adjective маленькие, which is маленький in a plural form. And if we're talking about some popular phrases, some popular names of books or movies, I can give you this one, which is маленькие, женщины. Женщина means woman, женщины, sorry. Женщина means woman, женщины means women, in plural form, I mean. So маленькие женщины translates as little women, and it is, as you know, a very, very famous book by Louise May Alcott. So that is another example of the way the adjective маленький is used. So I hope you found that my idea of giving you some popular examples of these adjectives, you found this useful and interesting. And these adjectives are very necessary to learn because they are used all of the time in the Russian language. We describe with them absolutely everything that we see or that we have, that we deal with. So it will be a great step up in your learning process to learn them, as well as to learn their four forms: masculine gender, feminine gender, neuter gender, and plural forms. And that will be a great help in your future studies. So give enough time to learn them, and I also highly encourage you to try to make your own phrases with these adjectives. Try to find different nouns, Russian nouns, and try to attach to them these adjectives in the corresponding gender forms, so that will be a great practice for your studies. So if you like this video, please give it your thumbs up, and if you have any questions, write them down in the commentary section under the video. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I have new videos on the Russian language come up every day. So if you don't want to miss them, please subscribe, that you will get notifications and you will be able to watch all of the new videos. So thank you for watching. Please stay safe, give enough time to your studies and practices, and I'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye.